A car dealer impersonates a police officer. That's right. Over the years, we reported on some very stupid things that car dealers have done, but this is a whole new level of stupidity. Our good friend, Attorney Dan Whitney out of Maryland, helped bring the heavy hand of the law down on this incredibly stupid car dealer when his client contacted him after a spot delivery went bad. Hi, I'm Kevin Hunter, the Homework Guy, and joining me across the way with her reaction to this very stupid dealer is the amazing Elizabeth, the Homework Gal. Welcome, Liz.
Well, thanks, Kevin. Like Ron White said, you can't fix stupid. But to contrast with stupidity, you know it's pure genius? Dan put up a post on this very rare crime and now owns the headline story on Google on this topic. I know because I did a Google search using the words, car dealer impersonates a police officer, and here's what comes up. Police impersonation is a crime. If you have been the victim of a car dealer impersonating police or harassed by a car dealer, you have legal rights and may be able to recover compensation for economic loss and emotional distress. The post is credited to whitneyfirm.com. That is very well done, Dan.
Well, let's get into the meat of the story with Attorney Dan Whitney for the benefit of some viewers. This is known as a reaction video. I had to say that, unfortunately, because we will pause at various points to add in our own commentary, and not everyone gets how a reaction works.
Yeah.
So if you complain, you'll be ignored. Now let's roll that video with Dan Whitney.
Hi, this is Dan Whitney with the Whitney Law Firm in Towson, Maryland. Today we're going to talk about the issue of car dealers impersonating police. It sounds crazy, but not that crazy. It does happen. It happens here in Maryland, and it is currently happening. Well, it did happen in a current case that we filed a lawsuit in, alleging that, among other things, a car dealer's manager impersonated police in an effort to recover a vehicle after the dealer violated the Maryland spot delivery law and tried to force somebody to return their vehicle without giving them their down payment. So, of course, I file a lot of car dealer lawsuits here in Maryland. Dealers do all sorts of bad things. And this is a particularly interesting case, in no small part because how dumb the dealer was. I think that's the technical term, how dumb they were in the way they went about their police impersonation and harassment of our client. So, what happens is this, as with many people, they go to buy a car, financing is not finalized at the time they make the purchase, and what happens is something occurs that's called a spot delivery. So what is a spot delivery? It means financing is not complete.
Okay, let's pause right there. Dan mentions a spot delivery. We covered spot deliveries on this channel a couple of years ago. The video was titled, Fraud Alert, Car Dealer Says Bring the Car Back. A spot delivery scam?
And depending on whether or not financing does get complete, either the deal is done or the customer will have the right to cancel the transaction, redo the agreement on different terms. And if they cancel the transaction, they get the down payment back. So in Maryland, the spot delivery law says that if financing is not approved within 4 days, the dealer must send a written notice stating and disclosing the customer's rights.
All right, Liz, comment on this about getting the deposit back.
Well, in most states, state law requires that if a person cancels the deal themselves, or if the deal falls through for any other reason, the buyer's deposit must be returned. We always recommend that the only way you should put a deposit on a vehicle is with a credit card, so that you can get assistance from the card issuer by reversing the charges, and credit card holders are the best at this. We recently ran into a situation where a dealer asked our channel member to put a deposit down with Zelle, Venmo, or Cash App. Very irregular and a major red flag. In any state, if the dealer does a spot delivery and cannot deliver the vehicle as agreed or changes the terms, the buyer is entitled to a full refund.
And then the customer will get that, read their rights, presumably, know what their options are, and they can decide, okay, financing fell through. I can either give the car back and get my down payment back, or I can renegotiate different terms. You have the choice, and the big thing is you have the option to back out, and you're not stuck negotiating with this dealership if the deal falls through or the terms you thought you were going to get, you're not going to get. And of course, if it's a spot delivery and you cancel the transaction, they have to give you your down payment and your trade-in back.
Really key to know that you have the choice.
What happened in this case is it was spot delivery. They say you got to bring the car back. He brings the car back. There's 2 keys. And he goes to return the vehicle. Now, inside, once he goes in the office and he tries to return it, they say, oh, we can't give you your down payment back today. Well, the spot delivery law says you have to give the down payment back at the same time the car is returned. So he apparently gets in the car with the second key that he kept and drives off.
Smart guy.
So now at this point, the dealer has still not provided the 4-day notice that it's required to do under law, but they've decided to take matters into their own hands. So this is the interesting part and what is really atrocious behavior. What the dealer does, the client gets a text message either later that evening or the next evening. And what it says is, now it's a text message. Now, how many police do you know who text
None.
Suspects and give them chances to do things before an arrest is made? I don't think that's how Baltimore County operates. But, what do I know? I'm just a lawyer, not a police officer. Anyway, our client gets a text message that says, this is Officer Muclaster. Officer Muclaster with Baltimore County Police. Before I process this report, you need to return the vehicle to name of the dealership.
Got it right there, Liz. So I'm surprised this stupid dealer didn't say, we're Officer Mufasa.
Yeah, no joke.
So, impersonating a police officer, as reported by Total Defense in March of 2023, a common tactic for bad actors to scam people into giving up valuable personal information is to pose as a police officer when contacting a potential victim. However, just because somebody says they're a law enforcement officer does not mean that they are.
Oh, yeah.
So my client gets it. He thinks, what in the world is going on? Why are the police texting me? He gets a little bit worried, and he's not quite sure what to do. Then, to make matters worse, he then gets an email from his employer. And the email says, hi, Mr. So-and-so. I just got a strange phone call from someone telling me they are a Miss So-and-so from Baltimore County Investigations. And it goes on to say, a woman claimed that she was investigating a car that's been reported stolen, and she was trying to track you down as part of this investigation.
Wow.
And she said she is with Baltimore County Investigations, but she's not a police officer, but she does a service for dealerships. This is bizarre. And as we'll discuss in a little bit, there are debt collection rules that protect consumers from harassing debt collection or alleged debt collection practices.
As in a dealer employee.
So what does the dealer do? They violate Maryland spot delivery law. My client gets a text from somebody who says they are Officer Muclaster, and then their employer gets called, and what certainly appears to be false information, because there's no record that a police report was actually made about this vehicle. False information is provided to their employer. So eventually I am retained and we file the lawsuit. Now, Maryland has a Consumer Protection Act, which is very wide and broad and protects a lot of consumers. And it also has something called the Maryland Consumer Debt Collection Act. And just about every state, I believe, has a set of laws that require debt collectors to behave in manners that are not harassing and to also not do or to do certain things. So in Maryland, what some of these Maryland Consumer Debt Collection Act prohibited practices are include a debt collector trying to collect an alleged debt may not threaten criminal prosecution unless the transaction involved violating a criminal statute. Well, that didn't happen here. You cannot contact the person's employer with respect to a debt before you get a final judgment. Didn't happen. You may not disclose to anybody else other than the debtor or their spouse information that affects the alleged debtor's reputation. For example, saying to an employer, we are looking for your employee in connection with a stolen car. That seems to impact somebody's reputation.
It's a comedy of errors.
You may not harass a debtor or an alleged debtor. You cannot claim, attempt, or threaten to enforce a right knowing that the right doesn't exist. So you know the car hasn't been stolen. You know you violated the law, and you're still doing all these things to try and collect the car from the client. That doesn't seem to pass the test. And you cannot pretend, essentially, you cannot pretend to be a government official or lawyer if you're not. And I think we have some issues with that here as well. So when the text message was sent, and this is the part, also the part you can't even make up, when the text message was sent, of course, it came from a phone number. Now, there's a lot of spoof calls and other ways to hide your number. And I thought, okay, what would be the chances that somebody would actually use a phone registered to them to impersonate a police officer. Slim to none, you would think, but keep in mind, these are Maryland car dealers and anything is possible. So we hire a private investigator, and he does some research, and he confirms that the number is registered to an individual who is actually the general manager at the car dealer where the car was purchased and all this arose. So in other words, the manager used their own phone to impersonate a police officer. You can't make it up. It happened. We've got the evidence, and I don't think this is going to go well.
Wow.
Boom.
So, of course, we file the lawsuit and begin to discuss the matter. The dealer has taken the position, essentially, this is no big deal. We don't think there's any legitimate emotional distress. And I tend to think differently. Of course, somebody who is threatened by somebody impersonating a police officer and is harassed through illegal contacts at their work to their employer would be upset. And I think that's a very normal feeling, and one that a fact finder, whether it's an arbitrator or a jury or a judge, would probably not be sympathetic to. But that's just my take, and time will tell what, in fact, the matter is worth and what the fact finder thinks about this. So a few things to keep in mind. If a car dealer impersonates a police officer, that's a serious matter, and you have legal rights under that, no matter what state you're in. And keep in mind, in Maryland, the debt collection statute applies not just to third-party debt collectors who are hired to collect the debt, but also first-party collectors who are going after somebody to collect a debt or an alleged debt that was made with the individual trying to collect it, like the car dealer trying to get a car back.
Yes.
Yep.
That counts. They're a debt collector for the purposes of the statute. So just remember, you always have rights. It's important to be able to exercise those rights and fight back. If you have a case that happened in Maryland, please feel free to give me a call, and I'm happy to help if I can. Otherwise, find a good attorney in your state, give them a call, and hold the dealer responsible for their actions. Thanks for watching. Take care.
All right, friends, as you can see how vitally important it is to have a great consumer protection attorney like Dan Whitney in your corner when you run into a stupid car dealer like this guy was. Or should I say a very dumb dealer. That's the technical term that Dan used, right?
Right.
By the way, if you haven't already done so, make sure you get over to Dan Whitney's YouTube channel, Whitney LLP. Let's help push him beyond 10,000 subscribers. He's done such a great job helping consumers who got ripped off by car dealers. He deserves it.
I totally agree. And I just want to remind our viewers that if you contact a consumer protection attorney, the offending party has to pay them. So if you engage the attorney, the car dealer is the one who pays the attorney's fees. So even if you're not out much money, but you were distressed in your case, go ahead and call that attorney, and they will advise you. If they think they can win, they'll take it on, and you don't have to pay them. The dealer does.
That's right.
In closing, I do want to say this. For those of you who are in need of a car right now, and you're not feeling an overwhelming sense of confidence that you should go it alone, meaning you don't want to fall prey to a stupid dealer like this poor guy did, get one of the memberships that we have on our website for direct help. We can ride shotgun with you. Just visit our website, TheHomeworkGuy.com, and go to the membership page and select a package that's right for you. The link, TheHomeworkGuy.com/members, now is appearing on the screen.
And friends, while memberships do continue to be available here on YouTube, we actually prefer that you sign up on our website, TheHomeworkGuy.com. From there, we have much better control, including getting an instant alert when you sign up, so we know to reach out to you right away. That was one of the very weird things that happened with YouTube. We had communication disconnects we didn't expect to happen.
Yep.
And in talking to YouTube about it, they had no answers. They just said it's very uncommon for content creators being okay with their viewers calling them. Well, we don't mind being the first to do this on YouTube. So we moved immediately to make memberships available on our website, TheHomeworkGuy.com. And that is definitely where we prefer that you go to sign up.
I think it would be a good idea for us to give people a better understanding of what's included in each membership package, because I have received a lot of questions on that. The $6.99 dealer referral package is a list that we give you of better dealers we've identified. But if a dealer near you with a specific brand you need isn't on the list, you can always ask us to identify some better dealer options near you. And Kevin will follow up by doing exactly that for you.
Exactly.
We have a way of identifying better dealers that has served us very well over the years, and he will be glad to assist you with that. The $24.99 Homework Guy Help Package is email assistance directly with me. I'll answer your questions, point you in the right direction, and supply you with used car book values through Black Book. They are the best of the best, just as we shared in this video titled, The Real Reason KBB is Wrong and Why Black Book is Right. Check it out. Quite often, response time on my email requests is the same day, and I do check this email morning and night.
Next up is a $49.99 consults package, which includes direct assistance with both me and Liz via text. Response time is always quick, same day typically from either one of us. In fact, you can set up a group text so we both get it at the same time, and the one who sees it first will respond to you.
The biggest package is the direct phone call and is only available on the website, TheHomeworkGuy.com. The price for the phone call is $99 and involves a 45-minute phone call directly with Kevin, the host of the show. There's a lot more that comes with it. You also get a month of follow-up text support from both me and Kevin. You also get a month of email support and Black Book values from me. By far, it's the most comprehensive, all-inclusive package of direct service that we offer.
So if you're needing a confidence boost and would like to get direct assistance from us, visit our website today at TheHomeworkGuy.com and get signed up right away.
We do love working directly with our members. The reports of great deals that you guys are sharing with us with our assistance are very inspiring.
That's right. We greatly appreciate the opportunity to work with all of you. Thanks again to our many faithful followers who just keep coming back, and to all of our longtime subscribers out there, you guys rock. God bless you all. On behalf of the entire Homework Guy team and the amazing Elizabeth, I'm Kevin Hunter. Thanks for listening.